Hello and thank you for your time. In this week's ISP F1 Visa Navigator, we are focusing on whether the school you choose will affect your F1 visa. Now, many prospective international students worry that the university or college they choose could impact their chances of getting an F1 student visa. The good news is that any accredited school can lead to a visa, but there are some nuances in how visa officers perceive different schools. Below, we break down the official requirements and what to expect at your visa interview. Legally, the specific school's name or rank does not by itself determine your visa approval. The only mandatory requirement is that your school must be approved by the US government's Student and Exchange Visitor Program, SEVP. In fact, only SEVP certified schools can enroll F1 students and issue the Form I-20 you need for your visa application. Now, does the school's reputation matter to visa officers? While many accredited schools meet the visa requirement, consular officers do consider context during your interview. The school's reputation can influence the officer's initial impression, even though official policy emphasizes your purpose of study over the school's name. Here is how it can play out. Now, for top-tier universities, if you have been accepted to a highly selective, well-known university, for example, a top 50 or Ivy League school, it can work in your favor. Visa officers know these schools have very competitive admissions. Your acceptance suggests you are a serious student with strong qualifications. This doesn't guarantee approval though. It means the officer may have fewer doubts about your academic intentions from the start. Now, for lesser known or less selective schools, if your I-20 is from a college the officer hasn't heard of or a school with high admission rates, don't panic. Many students get visas for small or lower ranked schools. You can absolutely be approved as long as you can demonstrate you are a bona fide student. However, be prepared that the officer might scrutinize your case a bit more to ensure you are not using a low-profile school as a mere pretext to enter the US. Now, be prepared to explain why you chose your school. One of the best strategies to convince the visa officer is to clearly articulate your reasoning for picking that particular school. In most every F1 visa interview, the applicant will face some version of the question, why did you choose this university? So you should have a compelling answer ready. Here are some tips to help you prepare. First, tell your academic story. Explain what drew you to the school. Maybe it is the specific program or major that aligns with your career goals, a unique specialization or the track the university offers, or a professor whose research interests you. This shows the officer that you care about your education and didn't just randomly pick a US school. The other thing is emphasize why this school, not just why the US. Many students make the mistake of talking about only the general desire to study in the United States. While it is fine to mention the US quality of education, the officer specifically wants to know why you chose that institution over other options. If your school is not a top-tier name, this is even more important. You need to convince them you had sound reasons. The other thing is anticipate follow-up questions. When an officer sees a less-known college on your I-20, they might ask additional questions to gauge your intentions. Be ready for queries like, how did you hear about this college? They want to know if you found it through genuine research, an education fair, an agent, or other things. Which other universities did you apply to? It's fine if you applied to a range of schools, but if you applied to one, be prepared to explain why this one was your ideal choice. If you got admissions to others but chose this school, explain what factors led you to commit to it. The other question that you might be asked is, why not study this subject in your home country? Especially if your chosen school is not famous, the officer might wonder why you wouldn't pursue a similar program at home. You should highlight any differences. For example, the program in the US might be more specialized, or perhaps the field is not well developed in your country. The other thing that you might be asked is, what do you plan to do after your graduation? This speaks to your long-term intent. It's always good to mention a plan that involves using your US education in a career, ideally referencing opportunities or needs in your home country. So in summary, the choice of school by itself won't make or break your F1 visa. As long as your school is properly accredited and SEVP certified and you have a valid Form I-20, you meet the basic requirements to apply. What truly matters is how you explain your choice and prove that you genuinely intend to study. At the International Scholars Program, this is exactly what we prepare students to do. Take the next step in your success journey, join our community of bold achievers, and let us guide you from admissions, funding, to visa success and beyond. If you have a bachelor's degree with at least 2.8 GPA out of 4 and for Uganda 3.8 out of 5, you are eligible to join us and your high school performance does not matter. Visit our website www.internationalscholarsprogram.com and grab our program handbook. Also, don't forget to follow us on social media. We are on Facebook, Instagram, X, LinkedIn, and TikTok, all at International Scholars Program. Thank you so much for watching today's episode of ISP F1 Visa Navigator. See you in the next episode.